What is up, everybody? We are back. We showed you the 101 the other day. Today, we are showing you the 102 and how to perfect your draft from there. Have a pristine, perfect draft to win your fantasy football leagues this year. Now, if you're not mock drafting at this point in the season, you're doing it wrong. You have to research for your team. So let's get into it. We have a PPR again. We are in the second position. Same setup. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 6 bench. What we're going to do this time, just to speed it up a little bit, is we're going to have no kickers, no defense. That was a one and done. Those picks are easy. I don't really talk about them too much. We will have 1 flex, 2 wide receiver, 2 running backs, and a PPR league. Let's get this draft started. We are going to be the second pick. Now, I like the 101 better because you get to make your choice, but 102 is not as hard either. You get Justin Jefferson, you get Christian McCaffrey, you get Ja'Marr Chase. You get to really pick what you want to do, and it all kind of stems and flows from what happens on your first pick. And the first pick was Justin Jefferson. So for me, there's only 2 options. We have Ja'Marr Chase, we have Christian McCaffrey. I tend to be very wide receiver heavy. So I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. And what it's going to do is allow me to get a high target share of an offense on a quarterback I don't trust to make deep throws or intermediate throws in Brock Purdy because I don't believe he's really that good. This team should lean on their running back, especially with camp reports that no quarterback is really getting out of there without creating turnovers. This team runs through Christian McCaffrey. He's one of the best players in the NFL. I'm going to take the shot on him. I'm going to leave Ja'Marr Chase. I'm not usually a huge high T guy where I get a bunch of running backs to start, but let's see where this all comes back because a lot of these picks are going through. We're dribbling off. We're getting to our spot. Now, like in the 101, I could go Chris Olave. I could go high T with Ramondre Stevenson. And normally I would go Ramondre Stevenson, but Zeke is still enough of a back. Even though I said he was dust in the last video, he's enough of a back to get in on third down, to be a good pass blocker, and then shoot out and catch a pass. He's enough of a back to get into the goal line aspect and get some carries because if I'm not mistaken, he scored a high amount of touchdowns. I want to say 10 last season. He's still a pretty big dude. So for me, I'm going to go Chris Olave, who has the second best strength of schedule. He gets the AFC South. He gets the NFC South. He gets a quarterback upgrade. Remember, he did everything he did last year with Andy Dalton. So imagine the upgrade with Derek Carr. So we're going to draft Chris Olave, and we're going to hope that a running back falls to us on the back end. But he's not. Ramondre Stevenson's gone. Najee Harris is gone. And we get to look here at Devonta Smith, Josh Allen, Joe Mixon. We get a little bit of Travis Etienne. Let's click on the wide receiver tab here. We can go Keenan Allen. We can go T. Higgins. We're going to look at the running backs here. We can go Joe Mixon. We could go Jahmyr Gibbs. There's a lot of options we could do here. And I like Joe Mixon because he's the only running back in town that matters for the Cincinnati Bengals offense, which should be really good. But he was very inefficient outside of those 5 touchdown games, that 1 5-touchdown game. And I think this strength of schedule of the Lions, the weaker division, like, yes, the projected points is lower. As you can see, Mixon has more, but you can't go by that. Jahmyr Gibbs is starting to catch my eye even more because he's just fast. And they drafted him high for a reason. You do not draft a running back with that type of capital anymore if you do not plan to use him in all special types of ways. I think we're going to do it. We're going to skip over Joe Mixon. We're going to go to Jahmyr Gibbs. So we're going to have Christian McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs to start. We're going to have a lot of pass catching going on from our backfield to join Chris Olave. But now here's the thing. We can hammer home wide receivers while everybody else deals with the quote-unquote running back dead zone. So we don't need people like Kenneth Walker that scare me, Alexander Madison that's just getting a starting job, Dameon Pierce with a new organization of coaching and schemes and everything like that. We don't have to go that route. What we can do is we could take a quarterback early, a Justin Fields, a Justin Herbert, a Trevor Lawrence. We could go wide receiver as a Chris Godwin. Don't really like it. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm not really a big fan of that offense. Neither one of those offenses are going to score a lot of points. Jerry Jeudy, we took in the last draft, and the offense is shaky at best, but I liked him because he was on the bench for us last draft. Not in this scenario. We could go Darren Waller a little earlier than I would like. He might be able to come back. Plus, we could get a Kyle Pitts later or a Dallas Goedert. Not a fan of any of these running backs enough to go this route, and we already have 2 of them. Let's pull our roster up just so you can see it over here. You know what? We're going to high T the hell out of this team and we're going to go Justin Fields here. Yeah, we're doing it. He may not be my favorite passer that's left out of these quarterbacks, but that man can run. He's a good enough arm. They're trying to get that offense better by adding DJ Moore and some other people. So I'm going to lean on Justin Fields, and we're going to have Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs running that ball and catching that ball. We're going to have Justin Fields throwing that ball and running that ball. We're going to have some dual threat players all over this lineup. Let's do it. I know we're drafting Justin Fields at the ceiling, but you know what? I think he's going to hit it, and he's got a chance to. So let's see what we get left that drops back to us. We got only a few picks. Dameon Pierce, Terry McLaurin are off the board, and we are back up. And what I like about that pick with Justin Fields and what I was hoping for, and yes, I'm skipping over Jerry Jeudy, DeAndre Hopkins, and Chris Godwin, and I'm going to create a stack right off the bat here in the 5th round with DJ Moore, his new wide receiver one. Everything from camp is basically saying it is DJ Moore, and DJ Moore, like you're talking about Beetlejuice, but they're going to nobody else because why should they? The man just glides on the field. He's super efficient, and he's talented. This is the best quarterback he's ever had. We're going to see some nice things here. We're going to go DJ Moore, and we're going to continue building this perfect draft from the 102. So we're going to let the draft wizard do its thing. Let's thank Fantasy Pros for this beautiful draft wizard, because without this, we wouldn't be able to speed through these drafts like we are. And now we're back. Let's take a little look at the tight end tab. We have Evan Ingram, Pat Freiermuth. This is right around where we took a tight end last time, but we're going to do it a little bit differently today. Let's take a look at the running backs. Javonte Williams off my board. I just do not believe in that injury. DeAndre Swift. I'm not believing in everything that you hear from the news. He's a 3rd down back only. James Cook, possibly. David Montgomery, I love, but like 2 running backs from the same team. Ooh, that's a little rough. We already have our quarterback. We're not going to look there. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at these wide receivers. We have a Christian Kirk on a great offense. We have Deontay Johnson, who needs positive touchdown regression because they had 0 last year. We have Tyler Lockett, who never, ever ages and somehow always produces for fantasy. And we still have a number 1 wide receiver in Michael Pittman for his team, but it's a little scary because it has Anthony Richardson tied to him. So how do I really want to do this? What I want to do is I'm going to take one guy that I know is going to get me a high amount of targets in Deontay Johnson right here. We're going to see what flies back to us. Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk come off the board, so no more Jaguars. So now we can go with Tyler Lockett, Michael Pittman, or even Jahan Dotson. And I like Tyler Lockett a lot. He's usually somebody I auto-pick every time he comes around. But Jackson Smith-Njigba's there, and DK Metcalf's there, and we have Kenneth Walker eventually, and Zach Charbonnet coming out of the backfield, and there is some Noah Fant and stuff like that there. I think there's a lot of mouths to feed in an offense that has 2 really strong running backs, and they're going to run the ball a lot. Michael Pittman is somebody I'm targeting because the man had the quietest 100 reception season I've ever seen in my life, and that was with like Matt Ryan and Nick Foles and Sam Ellinger and me at quarterback. Basically, that team was a dumpster fire last year. It was terrible. It can only go up from here. Has the number 5 best strength of schedule. He's got a quarterback with a rocket arm now. I'm going to take that shot on the Michael Pittman dip here, and I'm going to add him to my lineup for my 4th wide receiver, which gives us Chris Olave, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, and Michael Pittman as our wide receivers. Our running back is Chris McCaffrey and Jahmyr Gibbs, and our quarterback is Justin Fields. We got a lot of targets here, and we got a lot of dual threat options here. So let's keep looking at this team. Let's see what we got here. We could go Khalil Herbert, but then we're just really leaning on the Bears, and we're saying the Bears are going to be something special. Now, I like that we didn't go Tyler Lockett because we still have Zach Charbonnet here, who will probably be my pick depending on what we're looking at because we're in the 8th round. And as we talked about in the 101 video, which you can watch on this channel, it'll pop up at the end of the video, he's just a 3-down back that could do it all, and Kenneth Walker is still dealing with injury. As for wide receivers, nobody here is really tickling my fancy to the point that it would get me excited. The Brandon Cooks, the Gabe Davises, the Cortland Suttons. And since there's 3 of them, I know that all 3 can't get drafted, and I'd be happy with any of the 3. So we're going to skip over that. And I mean happy with any of the 3 on our next pick coming up in the 9th round. I'm going to wait on tight end, not really loving what's left here. So let's go ahead. Let's go Zach Charbonnet. Let's add to our running back room. He's our 3rd running back behind McCaffrey and Gibbs. And now we're watching Khalil Herbert and Cortland Sutton go. I really liked Cortland Sutton, but it's okay. It's okay because, like I said, there's three of them that I liked at that spot. And now we have Brandin Cooks and now we have Gabe Davis. My biggest issue is their strength of schedule is a little bit tougher, but I'm looking at upside here. And for me, Brandin Cooks is consistent and he's good and he's coming into a new team and I'm sure he'll still get his 1,000 yards and they're going to be a decent offense, even though the coach says he wants to run more to protect his defense. But Gabe Davis hype was a thing for a reason last year, and it was doing pretty damn good until he got injured. He was having those blow up games that we have seen before. Now, it wasn't the 4 touchdown games that we all know from the playoffs, but like, how the hell are you going to keep that going? So, we're going to take somebody on the Buffalo Bills who didn't really add a lot of weapons. It's going to take Dalton Kincaid a little bit of time to catch up. Stephon Diggs is still him. James Cook is pretty decent, but they need a wide receiver too. And when Gabe Davis is healthy, he actually does provide that. So, let's get him as our 5th wide receiver. And in the 9th round, that ADP is way better than last year, where he was falling between that 3rd and 5th, and the experts love it because we just drafted him at the 98th when he was ranked 85th overall. So now we're coming back again, and it's coming up to us again. And let's look at these teams because we could use a tight end possibly, depending on what's left. But we're down at the Tyler Higbees, Greg Dulcich, Chisholm. We can wait on that. We have 3 running backs. We got a lot of wide receivers. All right, so these ADPs, but see where these ADPs are, 178, 156, 190. We can wait on these running backs. So I say we go ahead and we get another wide receiver, unless there's a quarterback that has just dropped so far that we can mix and match. Ooh, we can mix and match him here because we are at pick 10.11, 10, 11. And Deshaun Watson's still here with an ADP of 71. Now, say what you want about him as a person. Who cares? Like, he's a terrible person. We can't care about that right now. He used to be a top 5 quarterback. He has the ability to run in him. He's got some decent wide receivers. He's got a Nick Chubb there, and they paid all that money. They're going to make sure he looks good. I don't normally go double quarterback this early, but if I get a shot at a top 5 quarterback, just in case Justin Fields regresses and he's fallen this far behind, I'm going to go ahead and take Deshaun Watson. This is why you always check the tabs, because we just drafted Deshaun Watson at 119, even though he was 89th overall. It has swung back to us. We now have 2 quarterbacks in Justin Fields and Deshaun Watson, both looking at crazy upside. And the wide receivers I was looking at are still here. That was Zay Flowers and Sky Moore. Sky Moore looks like he's taking a jump in camp, but my guy that I'm going to pick here is going to be Zay Flowers because it looks like that Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers connection looks amazing in preseason right now in camp. They're calling in the joystick. They're saying that once Lamar Jackson figures out how to hit him perfectly, it's game over. I'm going to add Zay Flowers to this lineup right now. Make it nice and simple. We're going to let the draft wizard do its thing. Only a few picks left here. Like I said, we're not doing kickers and defenses. You don't need that. If you need any help, drop it in the comments for kickers and defense. I will obviously help you. And remember, go like, comment, subscribe, share. Help me build this page out. Help me help you. Join, talk with me. Let me help you with your team. I am always here to help. And remember to follow me on Twitter at JPEP20 as well. We are lining up on our last couple picks. We need a tight end, and we need a bench player. We're going to wait on the bench player because everybody's not that great. And we might have to make that bench player a tight end because we waited so long. And how I would like to do this then is I'm going to try to aim for Chig so I can get an upside in a tight end. Even though DeAndre Hopkins is there, I still believe that if you get an athletic tight end who is a top 3 option in your passing offense, he can be very important to your offense. And then we're going to hope Gerald Everett comes back because I'm a huge fan of Gerald Everett because he is in an offense that caters, because of the new offensive coordinator, to the tight ends. And everybody's focusing on these wide receivers. And they should be focusing on Gerald Everett, who gets a nice, easy strength of schedule. So he has the 4th best strength of schedule of all tight ends in the NFL. Kirk Cousins, Cole Kmet go off the board. And we get to do exactly what we wanted with our team, where we get to add Gerald Everett. So we get a little bit of consistency with upside, and then we get the wild upside with Chig. And that is the end of our draft there. Let's see what Fantasy Pros gives us. They love to give me the C. Some teams don't like when you draft the 2 quarterbacks early, but I think this is the perfect draft from the 102. We have Pat Moore saying it's a B+, Joey Pizzabia saying it's a B+, Debro saying it's a C. So, boo on Debro today. Love you, buddy. Andrew Erickson, B-. I think we got a pretty decent team here. We're doing pretty well for our team. Now, That was the 102. That is the perfect draft from the 102. I need you to let me know if you like that team. Please go like, comment, subscribe, share this. Let's hear it though. Tell me what you would have did differently with the 102. Would you have gone two quarterbacks as early as I did, even in a 1 QB league? Would you chase the dips? Would you play the ADP? Would you chase upside? How would you draft your 102? Please let me know. I want to hear it all. Thank you for tuning in, and we're going to have the 103 coming shortly.